Okay, so that worked. We want this to be 0. If this isn't 0, then we just have to pick a new number and try it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase most of this because we know that this one works. So I'm going to go like this and just erase this part of it, okay? And we're going to keep these numbers right here because here's what we figured out. We know that x is equal to 1, okay? Now, what that's going to mean as far as factoring this is it's going to look like this. It's going to look like x minus 1. Do you guys remember when I talked about how these seem kind of backwards? I don't have time to explain it right now. You can ask your math teacher why this is and they'll kind of help you out. But we're going to focus on these numbers right here because this gives us the rest of our equation. Let me show you. So we have 1 here. So this is going to be 1x squared plus 2x minus 3. That's what we have left, okay? Now that looks kind of crappy drawn there. I'm gonna draw it again right here. I'm gonna kind of redraw the whole thing actually because this just looks like a jumbled up mess. So I'm gonna erase this top part with my napkin from Chipotle, okay? So up here, here's what we have so far. We have x, remember we haven't forgotten about x, we threw it to the side before, and we also have x minus 1. Now, we're not forgetting about these, we're just gonna put them over here to the side, and now we're gonna focus on this one, which is x squared plus 2x minus 3, okay? Now I can get rid of this, so we have a lot of room, all right? So we're gonna focus on factoring this now, so now it gets a bit easier. We do this, we gotta build something, what do we call it? A t-chart. So here's our t-chart, what number goes here? -3, and then we get 2 right there. What numbers multiply to give us -3? Maybe you'll say 3 and -1. What's 3 plus -1? That is 2. Is that what we want? Yes. I'm gonna put a check mark there. So what that means is now we go over here and we can factor this bit into x plus 3, and this one is -1, so x minus 1, okay? Now this looks kind of dirty. I'm going to clean it up a bit, because here's what we figured out. We still have x. I'm going to put x right here. We have this x minus 1, okay? And we have another x minus 1. I'm going to put them side by side, because I just think that they're going to want to be together like they're friends. And then we'll put this one right there. So just kind of, so you can see where I drew those. I just drew this one right there, that one right there, that one there, and that one there. So we have all of them, okay? So this is it factored, okay? This is everything factored. Now, here's what we have to notice. Notice we have x by itself. These two, these are like the same thing. So we're gonna call this one a double, and these are singles, okay? So doubles and singles. Now, right here, if I was to set this equal to 0, x would just be 0, okay? If I was to set this stuff equal to 0, well, what does x have to be for this to be 0? In order to make this whole thing 0, it would have to be 1, right? Because 1 minus 1 is 0. Same thing here. So here we get 1, and over here, for this to be 0, we have to plug in a -3, right? -3 plus 3 is 0, so we get -3. These are our numbers. These are our magic numbers. This is, once you've factored it, now it's been factored right here, but these are how we're gonna graph it, okay? So take these numbers, put them off to the corner. I'm gonna show you how we do that.